Hey guys, it's Arthur and welcome to Coffee with Arthur. I waste my beans so you don't have to. And today we're going to be dialing in a light roast espresso on an Olympia Cremina and an 1ZPresso JX Pro. First, I want to give a big shout out to Brian Chuan, who actually gave me some pretty good advice on how to dial in light roast. I was having a hard time, especially on the Olympia Cremina, and his advice was invaluable. Thanks so much. But basically what I've learned is that when you want to dial in light roast, you have to increase the pressure, you have to increase the yield, lower the dose, and just try to extract more from the coffee. Remember, light roast means that it's roasted less, which means the beans are more dense and it's harder to get that full extraction. So we need to put a lot of energy through those beans to get more out of them. Let's look at the beans we're going to be using today. So I actually used these in my previous video for dialing in on the Flair. They're the Ethiopia Hambella beans, and I talked about how they had really nice cinnamon undertones in it. It was really a delicious bean. I can't wait to try this on the Olympia Cremina. One thing to mention is that the Olympia Cremina actually has a wider basket than the Flair Signature. I think the Flair Signature is 41 millimeters or 40 millimeters, and the Cremina is 49 millimeters. So it's quite a bit larger, which means we're gonna have to change the grind settings a little bit. When I did this video last time for the Flair Signature, we dialed into a 152, but because of the difference in basket width, we're gonna have to make this a bit finer, quite a bit finer. So actually for my first pull, I'm gonna put this at 140, just like that. Now we're at 140. And let's go pull. We're gonna do 15 grams in, 35 grams out at around, well, I'm not sure exactly what the temperature is on here, but I'm gonna raise it so that the pressure strip reads 85 on it, and we'll go from there. Okay, now today we're gonna be weighing this on a whisking tasting glass that my buddy Andy gave me. You know, I normally don't drink whiskey, but it was just the right size for weighing out, so I thought I'd use it for this. You know, the Flair Signature comes with its own dosing cup, but I like this dosing cup for the Cremina. So actually, I gotta tell you guys something. So because I changed the grind setting on here, I'm gonna need to purge. So I actually have about 16 grams in here. I'm probably not gonna need to use that much, but I just wanna be safe. So remember to always purge, especially when you're using this grinder. That's just a good idea to keep things standard. This should work. It smells so delicious. So actually, you know, I really like the Cremina, but one of the things that it has a hard time doing is light roast. I feel like light roasts are a lot easier to pull on the Flair. And so if you like light roast, that might be a good thing for you. But yeah, we're gonna try our best on here. I just love having it go down and just be like this. This is wonderful. So next up is going to be weighing the portafilter and the doser funnel that I got here. Okay. Let's see what we got here. There's a little bit stuck to the edges. Put this on. This is 15.3. So normally I don't have to be this specific, but since we're doing an experiment, I got this down to 15.1. This is at 15.1. I'm just gonna stop here. Okay, great. So 15.1. All right, let's put this guy back. Next up is WDT. You know, WDT actually really helps, especially with these wider baskets. So I'm just gonna be doing this. Just do the same thing, just the 4-finger thing. You really don't need to tamp that hard on here. I find that if I tamp too hard, it gets stopped up easier. So I'm not even putting on that much pressure, but just enough to get it compacted. Okay, just like this. Just like that, great, wonderful. Okay, now, next step is to raise the group head temperature. Great, it's just starting to get to 85 now. 85 is blue. Do a little bit more just to keep it. Okay, now the 90 is being lit up. Perfect. So next I'm gonna put in my portafilter. Great, this is down to 85 now. Okay, so let's get this shot going. Let's see what this is like. Okay, so I'm waiting until some of the drops come out. It may be a little while, but I actually like quite long pre-infusions. They tend to give more, I say, body to the taste. So a lot of people wanted them to come out in like 10 minutes, 10 seconds or something, but I'm okay with going even past like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Even sometimes I've even waited as long as a minute. I find you don't need to wait that long, but it's nice to just let it go. There we go, first drop. Normally I wait until about 2 grams. All right, now let's pull this in. A little bit more of an aggressive pre-infusion here, and then there we go. This is going way above 9 bars. Great, just get that last bit. And great, wonderful. Okay. The crema's already gone down a little bit. It was pretty good before it, but there's some nice texture on the inside too. There's some nice texture on the inside. Let's smell it. Oh, this actually smells really well extracted for me. It could be a little bit too extracted, but let's have a taste. Okay. So I'm getting a little bit of a cinnamon aftertaste, which is nice, but not very much fruit in it at all. Here comes a little bit of the fruitiness now. Now that it's cooled down a little bit, it was a little bit too hot to the taste. So it's interesting, I guess maybe because of the temperature. I don't really get much of an initial taste, but then afterwards some of the fruit comes out, but also a little bit of the cinnamon. I'm liking that. Now there's a little bit of almost like an astringent bitterness. And so what's going on here? I don't feel like I've unlocked as much as I could. You know, like I think either the water was too hot or just the extraction took too long. Probably because of the astringency, the extraction took too long. So I'm gonna try this same thing, but I'm gonna go a little bit finer. I mean, a little bit coarser. I'm gonna go a little bit coarser. Before I was at 4.0, I'm gonna now do 4.1, 1.41. We're gonna try that. This is still totally drinkable though. So like I said, we're gonna be doing this at 1.41, which means we're gonna have to purge again. So I'm gonna do 15 in, 40 out, but once again, I'm going to put in 16 grams in here because I need to purge. There we go. So we're gonna be changing this just one click down, just like that, okay? All right, almost there, almost there. I can feel it. All right, we are here, ready. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, so once again, we're just gonna do some WDT on this. Okay, and once again, we're gonna put this in. This is good. This is still at 85, pretty much the same heat setting that it was on before. This is great. I love that about the Cremina. The heat stability is great. So remember, this is just with one click. We've just changed one click. That's all we've done, just one click. There we go. Okay, now they're coming out a lot more. Okay, just a couple more drops and we should be good. Okay, here we go. All right, now it's time to pull. Yeah, this pull is coming out a lot easier now. This pull is coming a lot easier now for sure, yeah. A lot faster. Wow. Okay. Great. Okay. All right, so this one I accidentally went a little bit too far. This is now 43 grams out. So I'm expecting to have a little bit of bitterness here. Actually, whoa, this smells really sweet. Let's taste this. But you can kind of see the crema is a little bit darker in color right here. It's a little bit more textured. So, and it smells really sweet. Okay, let's see, I've already mixed this, so let's taste it now. Oh yeah, oh wow, okay, this really opened it up. Okay, yeah, now even though this is still pretty hot from the very beginning, I'm starting to get some more flavors and I'm getting a lingering sweetness that I wasn't getting before. So I just want to wait a little bit more. This was great. So let's talk about what happened here, right? So a lot of people, when they want to get a fuller extraction, they'll actually grind finer. But what I've learned, and what I've learned from a lot of people on Reddit and from Facebook, is that actually sometimes you want to go coarser, because if it's too fine, it's too hard for the water to go through and it'll create channeling. I didn't look at the extractions on the videos yet for the GoPro, but you'll be able to see that in the video about how much smoother of an extraction it was. But I really feel like when you go coarser, it allows the water to pass through more easily. It creates more ways for the water to get in contact with the coffee. So you end up getting a much more even, fuller extraction. Okay, still get a lot of sweetness here, okay. Oh yeah, this is a lot brighter. Kind of, now it's a little bit going on the acidic side, but not super there. So if you're not a huge fan of acidic coffee, well, first, why are you drinking light roast? But this is like, but you know, because I did pull out the shot and I got those 3 extra grams in, I'm definitely getting a little bit of a flatness at the end. So I am getting more sweetness, which is good, but I'm getting a little bit more flatness. You know what? Let's just try to tighten the dose a little bit. I want to get more of that sweetness out. As much as I like that cinnamon flavor, let's see if we can bring out the fruity side of this. So I'm going to be doing the same thing that we had before. I'm just going to be lowering the dose to 15 grams in, 37 grams out. I should correct that. That should be the yield. I'm going to lower the yield to 37 out. We'll see what happens there. This is right at the 85 range now. Perfect timing. Now let's go. Okay, looks like we're going to be getting some drops pretty soon. Okay, this pre-infusion is actually a lot shorter than the other one. Maybe because my puck prep was better. Okay, so first, just gonna do this now, okay. All right, 37.3. 37.3, guys. Okay, all right. Now let's try this. Okay, smell this. Okay, definitely a lot more sweetness, or even I would say a little bit more on the acidic side is coming out, but let's taste it. Once again, look at the crema here. There's some nice texture going on. Okay, now let's mix it. Let's stir it and taste it. It still might be a little bit too hot at first, but I'll just take an initial taste. Oh yeah, so I'm getting a lot more of the fruitiness is coming out here. I am definitely getting more sweetness here, but it's bordering on acidic. So maybe I just didn't pull the right ratio, or maybe there was something in my puck preparation here. But let me taste again. I'm still getting that nice aftertaste, that after aroma of cinnamon, Okay, now I'm starting to taste the peach. Maybe it just needs to cool down a little bit. I'm starting to get a little bit more of that peach taste. So at the beginning, there's a little bit of almost acidic, almost citrusy kind of taste, but that goes away pretty quickly, and then it leaves a little bit of a sweetness of peach, which then turns into cinnamon pretty quickly. And so now I still have the aroma of cinnamon. It's a very interesting flavor composition here. Let me taste this again. Yeah, I'm still getting that. So it's interesting because it's not as sweet as I expected. I was hoping that it would be sweeter like what I would get from the Flair. I think the Flair is actually pretty good at dialing in light roast because maybe the puck is deeper and it's narrower, so it's easier to pull through. You also have to grind coarser. It's easier to not get mistakes that way. And then also probably because the temperature goes down faster, whereas the temperature here tends to hold pretty well, especially after you've pulled a few shots. You can still see over here that it's still well at 90. Now it's cooling down a little bit, but it's still at 90. So what would I do if I wanted to unlock the sweetness even more? I think the next step would be that I would keep the dose where it was, but I would bring the temperature down a little bit less. And that would be, I would bring it down so that it's just barely at 85. So it'd be a little bit cooler than it was up until now. And yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, so if you guys want me to do any other sort of dialing in videos, please let me know. You know, I'm here so that I waste my beans so you don't have to. I'd love to do more dialing in videos for you. Let me know your comments. Let me know what you want me to do in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.